What's going on, everybody? Today we are simulating a season in the NBA, except everybody in the NBA is in their prime. Now, this video took a long time to make, so I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor of today's video, FanDuel. FanDuel is a daily fantasy sports app where every night you can draft your very own NBA team to compete against other players and win cash prizes. Using a specified salary, you draft a team of 9 players, and based on how well your players play that night compared to your competitor's team, you are able to win real cash prizes. But don't worry about being new to FanDuel because they have plenty of beginner contests to learn how to play and still win cash. So go down to the description below and download a FanDuel using my link to help support the channel. And when you sign up today, you can get a deposit bonus of up to $500. But without further ado, let's go over all of the teams and check out how much they change with everybody in their prime. So starting off here, we got the 76ers, and of course, we got Joel Embiid in his prime now. Then we got Dwight Howard, and he's back up to a 93 overall. Simmons, Tobias in their prime now. Danny Green went up like 5 overalls up to an 83. And then even George Hill, I actually put him up a few overalls. I think he was a 78, but 79 was actually his highest rating inside of 2K. Moving over to the Bucks, of course, Giannis in his prime right now. Brook Lopez goes up to an 87. Drew Holiday in his prime. Chris Middleton in his prime. Jeff Teague went up a few overalls. I think he's like a 78 normally, and he's up to an 80 now. Going over to the Bulls, not really anything changing here. I'm pretty sure everything's actually the exact same because it's kind of everybody's at their prime right now. I mean, Thaddeus Young getting a little older, but he was never really rated higher than this inside of 2K. So we're keeping him at an 82. And then everybody else is going to be the same overall. For the Cavaliers, pretty much just one change here, and that is with Kevin Love. He's up to a 92 overall. Took the Timberwolves Kevin Love, put him on the team. And then other than that, a lot of young players on this team, so they're all in their prime right now. Going over to the Celtics, not much changing on this team. Our really only change here is Kemba Walker. I don't know what he's at now, like an 86, but he's back up to an 89 overall. For the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard going to stay the same. Paul George is boosted up to a 93. He went down a bunch of overalls this year. Then we got Rondo up to a 90 and Serge Ibaka at an 87. So the Clippers looking real good here. Big 4. I guess I got to change Paul George to a shooting guard though, and that puts his overall down too. For the Grizzlies, nothing is actually going to change here at all. All these guys are young in their prime right now, so this team going to stay the same. For the Hawks, another team that didn't change a bunch, but Lou Williams and Gallinari go up a few overalls because both of them are getting out of their prime right now. For the Heat, Jimmy Butler staying the same. Victor Oladipo gets boosted up to an 88. And Andre Iguodala also an 88. Goran Dragic up to an 85. Bam's in his prime. And Haslam up to an 84 as well. So Heat looking really good. For the Hornets, Gordon Hayward goes up a bunch up to an 88. And that is it for this team. For the Jazz, Mike Conley goes up to an 88. And Joe Ingles, I think he's the same. I don't know. He might have gone up a bit, but other than that, everything's the same. For the Kings, we got Buddy Hield going up to an 84. Hassan Whiteside up to an 84 overall. And then everybody else, kind of young players in their prime. For the Knicks, of course, we got Derrick Rose. He's up to a 96 overall. And other than him, everybody else is young players. But Knicks getting even better now. For the Lakers, LeBron does go up in overall. He goes up 2 overalls to a 99. Anthony Davis stays the same. Marcus Gasol goes up to a 93. Andre Drummond goes to an 87. And Schroeder, I don't think he moved up at all. Jared Dudley went up a few overalls. I think he's like a 72 normally. But other than that, a lot of younger guys on the rest of the team, so they didn't move up at all. For the Magic, this actually stayed the exact same, and nobody went up in overalls at all. For the Mavericks, Luka and Porzingis stay the same. This is actually the highest rated Porzingis in the game. When I went to check out his all-time Mavericks rating, it was actually lower than this. It was an 83, but JJ Redick getting boosted up to an 83, and that's it for this team. For the Nets, Durant, Harden still kind of in their prime right now. Same with Kyrie Irving, but he was actually a higher rating from the all-time Cavs team, so he goes up to a 94. Blake Griffin goes up to a 90. Aldridge goes up to a 90. DeAndre Jordan up to an 87. And they also got Dinwiddie here. I mean, this team is so good with everybody in their prime. For the Nuggets, we got Paul Millsap going up to an 87, and that's it for the team. The rest of the guys kind of young. JaVale McGee goes up a little bit. But other than that, everybody's staying the same. For the Pacers, nothing changing here. All young guys, so their overalls stay the same. For the Pelicans, we got Eric Bledsoe going up some overalls. This is like the Suns' Eric Bledsoe. He's up to an 81. And that's it for this team. For the Pistons, yet another young team that nobody goes up. For the Raptors, we got Kyle Lowry going up to an 89. Siakam's up to an 86. His overall actually dropped this year. So I took him from prime from 2019. And then everybody else kind of at the same overall. For the Rockets, we got John Wall going up to a 90. Christian Wood, of course, in his prime. Eric Gordon up to an 84 overall. For the Spurs, DeRozan goes up a little to an 89. Rudy Gay up to an 83 overall. And then Patty Mills is a 78. Is 25-year-old Patty Mills. For the Suns, of course, we got Chris Paul. He's up to a 97 overall. One of the highest rated players in the league now. And then everybody else on this team is young, so they stay the same. The Thunder, yet again, another young team. The only guy going up here is Al Horford, and he's up to an 85 overall. The Timberwolves, I actually had to bump up D'Angelo Russell's overall. I took him from the all-time Nets team, and he's actually a higher overall there. And then also Ricky Rubio up to an 85. For the Trailblazers, of course, we got Carmelo Anthony. He moves up to a 95, and then everybody else on the team kind of in their prime now. For the Warriors, Steph Curry staying the same. Klay Thompson is uninjured up to a 91. Draymond Green is up to an 89. And then even Andrew Wiggins actually got bumped up a bit. I took him from he was actually on the all-time Timberwolves team, believe it or not. So he's an 83 overall here. And then Kent Bazemore goes up a few overalls up to a 79. And moving on to our final team here, we got Russell Westbrook up to a 95. Beal in his prime now. Robin Lopez goes up to an 81, and that's going to be it for the Wizards and all of our teams. I want you guys to leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win. I think I know who everybody is going to choose because it's kind of an obvious choice. The Brooklyn Nets, I mean, they're my pick to win it. This team is just so stacked. They have like a big six. This is just insane. 5 players over a 90, and then they still got DeAndre Jordan and Spencer Dinwiddie over an 80. This team should win quite easily, but let's get right into the simulation. I know that took a while. Okay, so making it to the All-Star Draft, our 2 captains are going to be LeBron James and Russell Westbrook. For Team LeBron, I guess we'll just check out the starters for each team, but for Team LeBron, we got Chris Paul, Lillard, Carmelo, and Joel Embiid starting, and for Team Westbrook, we got, of course, Westbrook, Giannis, Durant, Kawhi, and Derrick Rose starting. Fun getting to see guys like Derrick Rose and Carmelo back in the All-Star game. So making it to the end of the season, LeBron James is going to get MVP, averaged 27, 6.7, and 12.8 assists. Nice to see him back at MVP. LaMelo Ball is still going to get Rookie of the Year here. 20 points per game. I got none of the rookies' overalls changed. Andre Drummond is going to get 6th Man of the Year for the Lakers. I guess he's the backup center to Marc Gasol now. He averaged 17 and 11 on the season. Honestly, not that many rebounds for him. LeBron James gets Defensive Player of the Year. And then Christian Wood with Most Improved. And then Steve Nash gets Coach of the Year. The Nets go 72 and 10. Check out our All-NBA teams. We got Westbrook, Luka, LeBron, Giannis, and Jokic on the first team. On the second team, we got D Rose, Chris Paul, Kevin Love, Durant, and Embiid. Cool to see these 3 guys up here that wouldn't make it today. And on the third team, we got John Wall, Bradley Beal, Carmelo, Gordon Hayward, and Dwight Howard. And here's our all-defensive first team and our all-defensive second team. So checking out the standings for the season, of course, in the East, it's the Nets up on top. Kind of what I guess everybody expects. But yeah, they're the best team. Then it's followed by the 76ers, the Heat, the Bucks, the Celtics, the Hornets. The Bulls end up making playoffs, which is surprising because their team didn't really change at all. And the Atlanta Hawks make playoffs. So who missed out on the teams? The Pistons do the worst. Their team didn't change. Pacers didn't change. Magic didn't change. Going over to the West now, it's the Lakers on top of the West. They had 65 wins on the season. Then it was the Clippers, Nuggets, Trailblazers, Pelicans, Kings, Jazz, and Suns all making playoffs. Grizzlies just barely not making it in there. Somehow the Warriors didn't make it in there. This is with prime everybody. I don't know how that didn't work. And the Spurs and Thunder end up doing the worst. I guess their teams didn't really change much. Checking out our league leaders now, we got Bradley Beal on top with 31 points per game. Then we got D Rose back up here. That's dope to see. Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Love's up here. Let's just check out like the top 10. Also Russell Westbrook there. For rebounds per game, it's Kevin Love up on top, 14.6 per game. And then Dwight Howard going to get back up here again. For assists, we got LeBron, Chris Paul, Rondo, Westbrook, and John Wall, and Ricky Rubio all getting over 10 assists per game, which doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you don't get a single person over 10 assists per game. Steals per game, we got Chris Paul and D Rose on top. Blocks, we got Dwight Howard and Brook Lopez. Zion with the highest field goal percentage. Duncan Robinson shot the best three-point percentage. How did he end up? I literally have trades off in the game, and somehow he still gets traded. So that's interesting how that works. Got the highest three-point percentage, but didn't shoot enough for anything else. That doesn't make sense. But after him, we had Kemba Walker, Kyle Lowry, Bradley Beal, all making it up on top. Where's Steph Curry? Steph Curry is nowhere to be seen right now, 24th in the league. But cool seeing a lot of old players back doing well. But let's get into the playoffs and see who wins the NBA Finals. So round number one, not really any upsets. The top 4 seeds make it to the second round in the West, and in the East, the only upset was the Celtics over the Bucks, which isn't a huge upset. Simulating another round here in the West, we got the 2 LA teams moving on to the conference finals, and in the East, of course, we got the Nets, and they're facing off against the Heat, who have a super stacked team as well. But making it to the NBA Finals, I think this is kind of what everybody expected. We got the Nets versus the Lakers. The Nets end up sweeping the Heat, and the Lakers beating the Clippers in Game 6 here. Let's hop into the Finals. The Nets should win this quite easily. Game number 1 goes to the Nets. Game 2 to the Nets. Game 3, the Lakers actually end up winning, and Game 4 goes to the Nets. And game number 5 is super close here. It's 121 to 121. If the Nets win this, they win the NBA Finals. Lakers win this, they push another game. Dinwiddie inside, and he gets the layup to go. So Nets with the 2-point lead. But we got Miami Heat LeBron here. Fading away. Can't hit the shot. For some reason, Durant not in for the Nets right now. Kyrie, the layup is money. And the Nets with the 4-point lead now. I feel like actually hopping into the game, the Nets are even better than in the Sims. LeBron being covered by Harden, and Harden actually plays good D there. DeAndre Jordan with the board. Harden, the step back from 3. That's no good. Lakers still with a chance to come back here. Wesley Matthews pulls up, can't hit the shot. And now the Lakers are going to have to foul. That might be game over for them. Got Blake Griffin at the line. First free throw is no good. And the second free throw's money. All right, Lakers, this is kind of your last chance here. Probably got to hit a 3. LeBron from 3. It's no good, but AD with a huge board. Out to Schroeder, to Wesley Matthews. And that's not even close. That is going to be game right there. Lakers fouling one time. Fouling Blake Griffin again. Gets the first free throw. And he hits the second one as well. So 7-point game for the Nets here. They are going to win the NBA championship. And James Harden gets finals MVP for the Nets. He averaged 38 points per game in the finals there. 4 rebounds, 7.2 assists. And he shot over 50% from 3 as well. So great playoff run by James Harden there. And the Nets just completely dominated. And I guess it's kind of what everybody expected. Their team is just so good with everybody in their prime. And Harden just completely going off. Like, look at the numbers he put up in these games. It was just ridiculous. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, smash that like button. Make sure to go check out FanDuel with my link in the description down below. This has been your boy Smequle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Never at ease, I don't know a limit. Chasing a dream, I don't know what sleepers. I got a queen, she lit me to eat it. She ripe like a peach and she snapped me to snippet. You well overdue for that link up in person. Text me to fall through a murder, she wrote it. Still up with courage, you're doing a service. Pull up to the crib, I'm equipped with the brush strokes. Cutthroat from the low, when the